powered by Riverside FM.
Welcome, everyone, to the very first podcast from the acoustic angle. We'll be getting to know artists that have played or will be playing at the Fox Theater here in Hays, Kansas. We also may have bands we'd like to see come play for us here in Hays. Today we have my good friend Ariel from the band Against All Odds. How are you doing today, Ariel?
I'm doing fantastic.
Well, we're so happy to have you here with us on the very first episode of our podcast. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and your role in the band?
Yeah, okay, so my name is Ariel. I am the lead singer of Against All Odds. We're a little band out of Dallas, Texas area. If you want to get specific, it's Forney, which is just 30 minutes outside of Dallas. About us, we've had a lot of struggles along the way, like many bands do. You've got a lot of changeovers and a lot of unexpected things that happen. But I'm the vocals and I help write the music. I do pretty much everything. I'm band manager. I do social media posts. I do all the things. It's a little overwhelming and I wish somebody would help me.
I would imagine that's the case. So how long have you been together as a band?
So we actually met each other just before COVID.
Okay.
Then COVID hit and Ben and I still worked on music. And then right after COVID, we did our first real show, September of, I want to say 2021. It was actually on one of my best friend's birthdays.
Okay.
Yeah, that was many moons ago, but that was our first real show. And we opened for a national touring act from Texas, Kira, which I believe they come out and play in Kansas
They
a
do.
lot.
Yeah, we've had them there a couple of times. They're a real great band. So what's the story behind the name of your band? How did you come up with that?
So I actually wish I had a more interesting story. We honestly, and I feel like I still have the list somewhere. You can't see me moving around looking for it, but we were going to do an acoustic show here in my neighborhood just before COVID. It was for March Madness. It was not March Madness, but around March Madness, but it was for St. Patrick's Day. It was called Dash and Bash. And so the bash part was supposed to be live music, and that was us.
Okay.
And we had to form a name pretty quickly. So I told all the boys, I go, send me all the names. I don't care how ridiculous it is. Just send me all the names that you want, and I'll take them all down. And the next band practice that we have, we'll pick a name. And of course, I'm not going to say any of the names on here because they're wildly inappropriate. And when I say wildly, if you know the band that sings Hammer Smash Face,
I'm not sure that I do.
Okay.
I can imagine
Corpse,
though.
just go
Okay.
down that rabbit hole.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine some
Like-
bands in that genre. Yeah.
Yeah. So think of some of those names of their songs and apply
Sure.
that to band names.
Okay.
And that's a lot of what they were. And one of the names on the list was Against the Odds.
Okay.
And I believe I pitched that one. That was one of my ideas. And Ben goes, I kind of like that one. And the other two guys were like, yeah, I feel like that one would be really good. They go, but something's not settling really well. What about something with alliteration, like Against All Odds or something? And go, really? Against All Odds, really? Really?
Well,
So we...
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we researched, we went on Facebook, we went across the world on social media as much as possible to make sure that nobody else had that name, and we kind of ran with it. So it was kind of a forced name, but not so forced.
Sure.
And now I feel like it's a curse. So
I think it's really fitting for a brand new band starting out because you do have a lot of obstacles to overcome, and and for all intents and purposes, you are battling against all the odds.
oh yeah, you were saying it super nicely, so I appreciate that.
So, who would you say are some of your musical influences as a writer, and as you're thinking about music that would be fitting for your band? Who do you
Channel.
channel? Yeah, it's a good word to use.
So I know people are like, oh no, there's no way. I mean, so a lot of the bands that I used to listen to was a lot of 80s rock. So Pat Benatar, Scorpions,
Sure.
Journey, Rush,
hmm
AC/DC, anything that you can think of in that genre and earlier on, all like the classic music that made music what it is today.
Absolutely.
I listen to all of those. So there you can hear a lot of those influences in there. My favorite bands are Breaking Benjamin, Chevelle. I love Paramore. I love her vocal
Oh
range.
yeah.
I love that. I do some covers of Paramore sometimes. Kelly Clarkson's my all-time favorite vocalist. So if I had to channel any kind of vocal strength and power, it's from her. But honestly, as far as writing and just creating music, I just do it as it comes, and it sounds very stupid and very lame because some people say, "Oh, this song sounds like so and so," and I'm like, "That's so great." They go, "Did you listen to this song and channel this?" I go, "Absolutely not." When I write a song, it just comes to me.
Sure.
Or when Ben writes a song, he sends it to me, and then I just send something back where whatever it feels or whatever comes or whatever the first words or melody line comes out, that's what it's gonna be.
So when you're sitting down to write something, do you like try and avoid listening to other music for a period of time before you're in that writing process so you don't subconsciously, mimic something else?
I was gonna say yes, but I mean, I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts on the way to work, and then on
Uh-huh.
the way home, I listen to a lot of music that's rage music because I can't, I work in the medical field, and there's a lot of things
Is
that
it-
you want to say to people that you can't
Yes,
say, so you have to channel that inner rage into something.
completely
But
understand. Yeah.
I do when I'm writing, when I'm sitting down and writing, I either get spurred in that moment and I have to, if I'm watching a movie with my husband, we'll pause
Hmm.
the movie and I go, I have to write this lyric down. I gotta go record this real quick, run, do my thing. Or I set time aside, like, hey, on this Monday, all day, I'm just gonna focus on this one song and I will not listen to anything else but this song over
Hmm.
and over and over again that we're working on. So it's a little bit of both. I think music does inspire you to follow a kind of like a cadence in your
Sure.
life, but mostly I don't. I don't want to channel anything other than what I'm feeling in the moment.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking of your writing, what's a couple of songs that you've written that you are proudest of, that you think are some of your best work?
So the first one I'd have to say, and I never want to admit this because then I have to say that my bandmates are right and they're boys and I don't want to tell them that they're right. But Cold, so Cold was a song that I wrote personally, melody line, lyrics. I came after work, very in a mood, wrote everything from start to finish, recorded it, sent it to my guitarist, and he sent um, music right back to me immediately, probably in equal time. And he said, "This is the song that we were waiting for." And it's been the song of our lives as a band. And it was the first song that we ever recorded. So that's one song that I will probably always be proud of. And it's one of those
Sure.
songs. I don't know if you have a favorite band, there's probably a song that your favorite band plays and they will forever have to play that song. They will
Yes. Yeah.
never not be able to play that song ever
Yep.
because it makes them.
I
And
have that.
then lyrically, some of my most clever was probably Savior from Hell.
Okay.
That one, if you listen to the lyrics closely, that is my most lyrically creative one. And I feel like I hit a sweet spot with that one. And then Sick is just my all-time favorite.
Okay.
Just to like play, sing, write. That was just
Sure.
such a fun song.
Sure. And fun absolutely has its place. Not everything has to have a deeper meaning or a big story behind it. Sometimes fun is just exactly what you need in that moment.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think that's all I had for you tonight. I'm really glad that you could join us for our very first podcast. It's been really fun talking to you and getting to know your band a little bit better. And I really hope we can get you up here to Hayes sometime soon.
Yes. I'm really
So
excited. I'm planning on it. I am already thinking about how I'm going to get there. I finally have a car, so I can make the journey. I've been
awesome.
carless for like 3.5 months, so
Oh, that's always frustrating. You have to go through that. I've been there. Not a good time.
No, not at all. But I am so grateful that you guys had me as your first one. This was super fun, and I hope to be back. And whatever you need, if you guys want some more Texas bands, let me know. I'm in good contact with a lot of them, so
Awesome.
I'm all yours.
Thank you again so much. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.